Our project is called Get in Line and Conform.
Some terms you need to know for our experiment are conformity, which is the act of matching attitudes, beliefs, and behaviors to group norms. Conformity is shown in our experiment when people act the same way as the other people and choose the wrong line so that they don't stand out and they fit the group norm. Informational social influence is a phenomenon where people change the way they think to fit in with the group and not stand out. This is shown in our experiment when the people change the way they think and choose the wrong line to fit in with the group. Confederate is an actor who participates in a psychological experiment. In our experiment, we had 3 Confederates choose the wrong answer, and they were in on the experiment. Lastly, groupthink, which is the phenomenon where everyone in the group quietly goes along with the others to keep harmony. This is shown in our experiment when the participant went along with the Confederates so they can keep harmony and not stand out.
Our research question is, how does a group's collective decision on the wrong answer influence one's ability to go against the group and choose the right answer?
Our hypothesis is, if the group of Confederates collectively chooses the wrong answer, the participant will conform and choose the wrong answer 1/3 of the time.
The Solomon Asch line experiment was conducted in 1951 by Solomon Asch using college males. In this experiment, he tested conformity under group pressure. Asch has 2 pieces of paper, one with 3 lines on it with various heights, and one with 1 line that matched one of the 3. He had 3 people in on the experiment and 1 person who was not. He told the Confederates to collectively choose the wrong answer to see if the person not in on the test would conform to the group pressure and also choose the clear wrong answer. Our project differs from the Solomon Asch experiment because instead of choosing all college males, we decided to test different age and gender groups chosen at random.
Our study will be conducted in Regency Project. Our participants will be random people we find who are willing to participate in our experiment. These people will be from all different age and gender groups. Just like in the actual Solomon Asch experiment, we will choose 4 random people. We will explain the directions individually to all of them. We will tell the first 3 people to choose the wrong answer, C, and the 4th person to pick the line the exact thing matches up with one of the 3. We will then ask the 3 people in on the experiment what they think the answer is before asking the last person what their answer was. We videoed it to see if the last person conformed to the group pressure or went with his own different answer.
The procedure for our experiment is as follows. 1. Find 4 participants chosen at random. 2. Assign 3 as Confederates when telling the directions individually. 3. Tell the Confederates to all choose the same wrong answer when saying which line they believe is the one that matches up with the one on the side. 4. Have the group line up with the 3 Confederates first in line. 5. Hold up the 2 signs containing the lines. 6. Ask the group which line they believe the one line to the side matches up with. 7. One by one, have the group say aloud their answer. 8. See if the participant not in on the experiment conforms to the group. 9. Record data in table.
On one piece of paper, there's 1 line, there's 3 lines, okay? And you're trying to see which line matches up. Okay? So like one of the line matches up with another line, you're trying to see which one it is, okay? Alright, which line does the 1 match with on the 3?
B.
Okay, next.
B.
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 We're seeing which line you think that 1 line matches up with on the other 3. Alright? So which line do you believe it matches up with? B. Which line do you think?
B.
Which one do you think?
I'm gonna go with B.
Which one do you think? B? Alright, thank you. Why did you pick the wrong line when you were doing it?
Because everybody else said B.
Thank you.
Our data shows that people conform 60% of the time. Here is our conclusion. Different from Solomon Asch's results, our participants conformed 60% of the time rather than 1/3 of the time when he performed the experiment. We conclude that conformity is strengthened when the people tested are unfamiliar with the other people in the experiment. We conclude this because when we tested a group of friends, the people were more likely to not conform than compared to when we tested strangers together. We believe this occurs because people do not want to be disliked because they are different when meeting new people. Conformity occurs many times over the course of the day, and we need to be more mindful of our decisions and how groups affect our decisions that we should be making on our own. Therefore, in total, we reject the hypothesis and accept the null hypothesis. If we were to replicate the experiment, we would increase the difference in the lines to see if people still conform, even though the difference is very, very clear. Also, we would like to test if an adult would conform to a bunch of children, or an elderly person to a group of middle-aged adults or children. Two other studies that pertain to our experiment are the Milgram experiment and the Stanford Prison experiment. The Milgram experiment focuses on the conflict of obedience and personal conscience. In this experiment, participants sent shocks to what they were told were people answering questions wrong from another room. The experiment wanted to test if people would conform to what the man in the lab coat was telling them to do, even if they were seriously harming the person in the other room. This relates to our experiment because, just like in ours, people conformed to what the person was saying. And in our experiment, people conformed to what the group was saying and didn't want to deviate and think differently. The Stanford Prison experiment was the other study that also pertained to our experiment. The Stanford Prison experiment was an attempt to investigate the psychological effects of perceived power. Zimbardo randomly chose people to play roles as officers and prisoners in his made-up jail cell. People conformed to what the group was doing. Prisoners obeyed the officers' crazy, radical punishments. Since people conformed, no one stood up and acted in the right manner. Just like in our experiment, people conformed to the group and didn't want to deviate and stand up for themselves. Therefore, they were pushed into doing crazy things that the normal person would not do.